In the previous video, I told that you need not use navigate, but the problem is if you don't use that, you don't navigate to home. After updating the course, when I log out, it is the page is sticking to the update only. So this navigate to home is required because when the user logs out, you have to navigate to the home. Okay. Okay. Now let's see how to use recoil. So how this works basically in our case, right? You have this app component and you have the app bar, okay, and then you have your landing page component, okay. So a particular state is needed by this app bar and the landing page component, okay. So you have recoil. In recoil maintains the state for us. This is a library which maintains the state for us. In that, how the state is maintained, it is maintained in atom. So a bulk of state is maintained in atom. For example, you have course details, right? There will be lot of course details, right? Like title, description, price. All this will be in a atom, okay. And then basically atom is where the state is maintained in the recoil. And then there is something called a selector, okay. So this is an atom. This is a selector, and selector derives a state from this atom, okay. Basically selector can have only the price instead of all the values, okay. And what you do is basically from this component, from a component, you can set the state, okay. When you set the state, right, a particular state, okay, whichever component is using that state, that component alone will be re-rendered. That is the advantage of state management. Suppose there is another component, let's say that there is some update component or something, or some other component which doesn't use the core state, okay. So that component is not using the core state, okay. When this component is using the core state and this component is using the core state, so you are changing the core state, like suppose you are changing the price. When the price is changed, here the price display has to be changed, here also the price display has to be changed. So from here you are setting the state. What happens is this state management library, right, it keeps track of what are the components using the state. That components alone will be re-rendered by this library, okay. This component doesn't use the state, right? This component will not be re-rendered. So what is the advantage? The performance of your application will improve, okay. So basically how to have an atom and put the state inside that, how to have a selector for that, we will see now. So this is how atoms looks like, okay. So each atom, so there is one atom which stores, each atom has one variable is loading, okay. So basically this has the course details. Initially this is null, this is the default value which is null, and we specify a key for the atom. We have to specify all this when you're setting an atom, right? When you're calling an atom, you have to pass an object, okay. So this is an object, you have a key and a default value for an atom, okay. The default you can have many values. I'm having two values, one is this loading and course. So you create an atom. So atom stores the state information for your application, okay. And this course has ID, title, description, price, all these things, okay. So some component can use only the price, some component can use only the title, okay. So I am having selectors for each one, okay. So for this atom, right, what is this atom is exporting? Is exporting this core state, correct? This core state is what I'm importing here, okay. And I'm having a selector for loading. There are, what are the, how many data is there? One is loading or not, and another is the course, okay. So I'm having selector for loading. So how to do that? You have a key for a selector. Selector also accepts the object, and instead of default there, you can get the value from the selector. Using the selector you can get the value. So here basically you have you pass this arrow in the arrow function, you pass this get, and then you call the get of the atom, and you get the complete state of the atom. In the state, what are the thing is loading is there. Okay, so you return is loading for the selector. For the next selector, I need the complete course details. So I am returning state.course. Okay. For the next, I need only the course title. So I am just getting the complete state. If the course is valid, I am returning the course title. Otherwise, I am returning null. And this course is to return the price of the course. So selector is used to select a particular state in the atom. Okay. Now, how to set the value and how to get the value? Okay, that we can see now. Okay, so let's see the update. Okay, you can go and update, right? So if you see the update course, right, you have a title, you have some image here, you have update card here, and that is what is part of update. So basically you have a gray topper which is displays the title, okay, which is this one, and then you have an update card. This update card displays this part, okay, and then your course card displays this part. Okay, now if you see, right, you are updating something here. Okay, suppose if the title is not updated, this component, right, this is a gray topper, this need not be re-rendered. And this one, what are the things are there? It displays the title, and it displays the price, and the see, this gives the price and the image. So if you change the description, right, this component need not be re-rendered. Okay, so this component, where it will get the value? This component needs the title. This component needs the price and other things. Okay, all this information is there in the atom and selector. Okay, so you can get this value from the selector. Okay, so this gray topper, right, it needs the title alone. How you get the value? You have to use recoil value, and whatever selector you are exported, right? What is the selector you have exported? Let's go to the selector and see what you have exported. You need the title alone, right? So course title is the selector. This is what you have exported, and that is what you have to use here. So now you got the title. From the selector you can get the title. So all the data is stored in the recoil in the form of atoms and selector, and you are getting the data from the recoil. Okay, so in the recoil, as I told you, you have atoms and the selector. Selector is used to select specific state in the atom, specific data in the atom. Okay, so now for my component, I have to basically able to, from my component, I will be able to set the value here. I should be able to get the value here. Okay, so to set the value, you use recoil state. I'll show you. Use recoil state. This will return you the state and the function. So you use this hook, you get the state and the function. You use the function to set the state, and you can also get the state like this. Okay, and for the selector, right, to get the value from the selector, you use recoil value. Okay, so what happens is, this recoil library, right, it sees what are the component using the use recoil value. When a particular value is changed, whichever component is using that value, only that component will be re-rendered. So if you don't change the title, this component gray topper will not be re-rendered. Only if you change the title here, the component will be re-rendered. That is taken care by the recoil. Okay, so now next we will see what is needed for the update card. See, in the update card, right, after you update, you have to update the complete course data, right? So I'm using use recoil state. Use recoil state, I will supply the atom. What the atom has? This course state is the complete atom, right? So it gives the complete details and the function to set the state. Okay, what this detail have? What is there in the atom? The atom has is loading and the course data. Okay, so if you go to course, this will have is loading and the course data, right? What is the course data? Course details dot title, course details or course dot description. Okay, this is what is put here. Okay, now, okay, so now this set course, right? When you set the course, when you click that button, right, update button, there you go and set the course. You get all the course and go and set the course. Once the course is set, you update is loading as false. Once you click the update button, what you have to do? You have to send a HTTP put method, the data, and then you have to update our state variable in the recoil state. Once this is updated, once you set the state, whatever you have changed here, the recoil will call the appropriate component. Okay, so if you don't change the title, this component will not be rendered again. Recoil will take care. Okay, if you change the price, this component is using the price, so this component will be rendered. Okay, so this is the course card. In the course card, what you are using? You are using the image and the title, right? In the course card, you are using image, title, and the price. Okay. To display the price, you are calling another component to display the price. In that, I am using the price selector. So whenever you set the state, you are setting the state in the atom or selector, right? So that particular component is using the selector, right? That component alone will be re-rendered by the state management library, which is Recoil. So it seems many components are not re-rendered, your application will be fast. Redux is another way of doing this.